So that's why I said God been protecting me from something, from something. Because why I get that close like that, and then people get killed.
Hey. Angelo Sykes here, owner of Uptown Comedy Corner, and we're here for another episode of the Sit Down at Uptown. The Sit Down at Uptown, we just sit in and we chop it up with some of our favorite comedians. And tonight, I got one of my favorite comedians, favorite people. Just overall good person, man, and always full of so much energy. Comedian Sunshine's in the building. Comedian Sunshine's in the building.
Thank you. That's nice. That means a lot.
That's very truthful. Time. So, Sunshine, you're one of the few who can actually say you've known me, especially in this particular industry, for a very long time.
Yes, 1995.
From the beginning.
Yes, it's going to be 30 years in 2 years.
Is that not crazy?
I know, we grew up.
Literally.
Yes.
Literally. So, I tell the story all the time about how I came about in this business. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And people be so surprised and shocked, especially people who only know me for the last 10 or 15, 18 years when we reopened and all that stuff. But somebody like you can literally say, I remember when.
Day one. You ran the security, right? You were the police.
That's correct.
But you had a security company that ran the security for Uptown Comedy Corner. So when I first met Angelo, I was the hostess at Uptown Comedy Corner, the first one on Peachtree Street.
That's right.
And him and Jackson was running security, and they were funny, very good guys, just... Nobody has ever had a problem with you and Jackson from the beginning. And then once, Lee, you and Lee became the owners of the next Uptown Comedy Corner on Marietta Street. Right. So once they reopened, I guess you partnered with whoever. I don't know all your business in the backstage, but I know you was no longer security. You just had everything. And so that's so good to even see the growth, to see that, you went and you always was a businessman, but just the avenue you went into to actually own a comedy club. That's dope. That's like started from the bottom. Yeah. But literally. You wasn't even at the bottom when you were security, because again, you was running the security company.
Right. Well, Jack and I started off, I was an Atlanta police officer. And like I said, a lot of people, when I tell the story, they just be so shocked. They be like, for real? You were,
the popo.
Ooh, the popo. You know what I mean?
That's how you know it's some good police out there.
There's some out there for sure.
The police shouldn't get a bad stigma like that. There's bad everything. There's good comedians and bad comedians.
That's right.
Good police and bad police. So now, look, we got a good one.
How about that?
All the way around, too. You own the club and you were the police, so we know you still got them connections. So, that's why I might be able to, do a little something in the club. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's good. I'm very proud. I'm proud to know you, and I'm happy when you're happy with me because you saw my growth. I was a hostess.
That's right.
I was a rapper though, so
that's right.
I was pursuing trying to be a rapper, but I could not get a deal for nothing. I was around everybody, but I wouldn't do a demo because I just didn't want to. And so, for me to start comedy, it was like I was just around comedians because I was the hostess. And so I just, Dominique, shout out Dominique, she's who started me. She said, "You funny, Sunshine, you should do that on stage." And I did, and hey, the rest is history.
Well, let's not hit that part yet. Let's back up first. All right?
Sorry.
We had to hit our introduction simply because we've known each other from throughout, this journey of particularly this journey of Uptown. Like you said, you were the hostess, I was a police officer. And, it was always stay cool, even way back then. And so to see this journey, but let's take a trip back first. So you were originally from Rochester, New York. Tell me about the young girl. How was your upbringing? How were you as a child and in class? Tell me about that young lady.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm still the same, just from always playing around, goofing around, joking around. I have no attention span. I still have ADHD. Growing up, I had a single mother. My father, it's funny because my mother was married to my sister's father. And when I was born, she still had my sister's father's last name. So she gave me her last name, which is my sister's father's last name.
Okay.
And my sister's father even had a problem with it. Like, why that girl got my last name?
Is that right?
Yeah, because he had wanted my mom back. And then she ended up getting pregnant or whatever. They weren't together. So he just had a problem with that. But it was her last name, and it was 71. So I really don't know how it was back then. I think you could put anybody's name on a birth certificate back then. Yeah. But she did have my real father's name on the birth certificate, but she gave me her last name.
Okay.
So I grew up without a father. I think I had maybe one breakdown when I was like 11. I had like a really bad breakdown. Like, where's my father? Why don't he love me? Why don't, just a really bad breakdown. And then my mother, I remember her sitting next to me and just hugging me. She was crying because she was just like, I don't know. So, that was just, I grew up with my uncle. She had 7 brothers. So they took me under their wing. I didn't really miss having a father, but I just brought that up to say that just one time I really did have some type of breakdown of missing that. But my uncles raised me. They were pimps. They were drug dealers. They ran the town. So I was spoiled. Really could get anything I wanted. And, we didn't want nothing then but name belts, you know what I'm saying? Name chain, sweatsuits and sneakers that match.
Right.
Concerts, the Fresh Fest.
Yeah.
Just living like that, going to parties, because we could even go to parties back then with grown people. Could you? I know you could. In Virginia?
No.
Come on.
If it wasn't a house party, it wasn't happening.
Let me tell you, my father was from Virginia. I first met my father when I was 14.
Okay.
So now remember, all that time, I never saw my father. When I was 14, he sent for me to come to Virginia, Culpeper. So I fly to Culpeper, and I get off the plane, and I'm walking, and I see this old-ass man. I'm telling you, I looked at that motherfucker like, who is this old-ass man? Like, he's weird, like, and kept going. Did not even know my father, Wow. But I seen my sister at the airport because I knew my sister. So I'm walking over to her, and then that old-ass man walks over to her, and I'm just like, hell no. This my damn dad? Like, damn, like, he ain't nothing
really
like what I thought he would be. He was short. He had on a leisure suit. He was old. He was like Grady. Remember when we met Grady? Grady was old on Sam and the Son. That's how my daddy was. That nigga was old since I met him, man. But he was like 25 years older than my mother. She was 25 and he was like 48.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm sorry. He was 15 years older.
Okay.
So he was about 40.
Yeah.
And she was 25. I feel like he played her when she was young. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Just, I seen him, didn't know it was him, but I ended up going back with them.
Okay.
As soon as we got to the house, they went and got crab legs. Now, I'm from New York. They got a bag full of crab legs, a brown bag. They opened them up on a table that looked just like this.
Right.
And about 5 people just eating them cold.
Going
right?
in.
And so I tried one, and I was just like, where am I? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about this. Like, I don't know him. He lived in a shack. He didn't have no running water. We had to go to the well to get water. So I was just like, when I met him, I was just like, I'm not impressed. I haven't really missed having a father. And, to me, that's just sad. Because today, sometimes I will, when I see a father and a daughter bonding, I will feel something.
Okay.
Sometimes I have cried once watching something where I could tell a father loved his daughter, and I was just like, it's something that I know I didn't get.
Gotcha.
Growing up, though, now when my mother say I can do something, then my friends, they'll be like, okay, they mother say yeah, they got to ask their father. They father say no. And then here I go, damn, I'm so glad I ain't got a damn father.
Right.
I was glad then, like, damn, I'm glad I ain't got a damn father to be around saying no.
How about that?
But like I said, I'm so sad that I realize now, how much I missed out on, and how it's hard for me to love. You know, it's hard for me to believe that I'm going to be with a man forever, that a man going to be with me. So it's like, I don't believe it.
Really?
Yeah, it's deep.
That is deep.
Yeah.
That's a classic conversations thing. You just gave me a thing we're going to talk about with you, son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's another show.
Yeah, because people think that, okay, if you didn't get raised by a father, that you might be a hoe or you might be looking for your father. But nobody really thinks that. Maybe you just don't think anyone's going to be there because no one ever have.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's sad, too. It's sad because when someone's trying to show you and you don't know nothing about it, you just don't know nothing about it. So you ain't moved by it. It's just like, you just don't feel, I feel like it's just something I don't really know about.
So when you met him at 14, y'all were not able to establish any kind of bond from that point? No?
And we went to the store and I said, I asked him, would he buy me some wine coolers? And I'm 14 now, and he said, yeah. And then I lost respect, which is sad because I asked him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when he said, yeah, it was like, what kind of father are you? You about to buy me alcohol? You know what I mean? So it's like, I didn't like
that.
Really? And when we got on the subject, because I was saying, when I went to visit him, we went to a club, and there was grown men in there trying to talk to me. And I was 14. I was just like, you know, in New York, they be like, yo, wait till you get 18. Wait till you get 18. Even though now that's kind of inappropriate, I guess, for the man to tell somebody that's 13 and 14, wait till you get 18, I'm going to knock it down. And you be waiting, too, like, oh, I'm going to do that old man when I get 18. There, they wasn't waiting to 18. So I was taken aback again, like, these grown men in here trying to get with me? I was like, I'm ready to go. I was supposed to stay a week. I stayed like 3 days. He drove me back.
Wow.
Yeah. We didn't bond. And then even till now, I try to bond with him, you know, because he's my daddy. He funny. But it's like, I don't feel bad either because it is what it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like, oh, and it just is what it is, you know? I have a wonderful stepfather. He's like my dad. That's cool. But the thing is that it's still, he ain't. It's almost like I go through my mother to get to him. So I still don't have it, you know? So
got you.
But it's okay. Like I said, hey, I'm 51, so ain't nobody about to be crying about no daddy issues. Too old for that.
But it's real.
Yeah,
it's real. Not, you know. So what was your journey from there? So you graduated in Rochester? Mm-hmm. You finished high school?
Yes.
You play sports? You cheerlead anything in high school? Cheerleader.
But because I did so many things, like I was always doing something, my mother didn't buy me no sneakers for cheerleading. She didn't buy me no equipment for nothing. Because she would be like, you always doing something. Like for tap, I wore loafers. For cheerleading, I had these shoes that was not even sneakers. So I never was like an official anything. Just an official fool.
Really?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. So you were a class clown?
Class clown.
Really?
But I was voted most likely to succeed.
Okay.
And I was surprised that they thought about me like that. You know? Because I was such a fool. So when they did at our senior, you know, you have the senior, the last senior day field trip and all that. Yeah. And we got those awards. I was so surprised.
Really?
I was like, damn, they see me like that. Damn, I didn't even see myself most likely to succeed. So I was like, okay.
So when did you leave Rochester?
Immediately after I graduated, I joined the Air Force.
Okay.
And it was really good. I loved the Air Force. I got kicked out for smoking weed, but that's how much I loved it. Yeah, that's how much I loved it.
How long were you in?
For 3.5 years. It was about to be 4.
Okay.
And I was about to go overseas. I had orders to go to Korea. And right when I got busted for the weed, the Rodney King beating had just happened. And so the Koreans and the blacks, you know, was fighting in Compton or in LA. And so I love my mother. This is the best. Because she said, well, maybe you ain't meant to go. The blacks and the Koreans is the ones fighting over there. I said, I love her. I never felt it's like, I'm not worthy of this mom. Because it was like I was always doing something, but she was always, and still, just always right there. You know, I have a son now, so I kind of understand a mother's love. But back then, it's like I could not understand because I'd be fucking up left and right. You know what I mean? I'm getting kicked out for smoking weed. And she said, hey, maybe that's what's best.
Did they catch you or you test it? How'd you get caught?
Oh,
tested.
And
random?
Random.
Really?
And it was sad though because I worked in the office that gave the test, that administered the test, right? But they did a squadron random.
Okay.
Instead of like, if it was just my group, I always get them for the group. So I'm good money. But then I came to work one day and everybody was in the room and I was like, why everybody in here? And somebody walked past, they said, did you pee yet? And I saw my whole life flash before me. My Air Force life just flashed. Did you pee yet? So what I did was I drank a lot of water, right? And I went to pee off the grid before they knew I was officially in the building. I drank a lot of water. I peed. My pee started coming out clear. So I went in confident.
Right.
Because I was like, fuck it, it's the water now. You know. So I went in, I peed, and it took about 6 months for them to bring the pee back. So in them 6 months, I was just so worried, and then people was like, well, they don't test them all. You know, maybe they don't test them all. They test like 1/3, and you know, I'm just loving life until that one day. Them 2 damn undercovers came to my office and was like, can we talk to you? And I was just like,
you knew already.
Again, here it go, the flash.
The flash. Wow.
And they said, we got you, you know, your pee had weed in it. And I said, well, I went to a reggae party. Tried to blame some Jamaicans.
Sure.
Because at the time, you remember Steven Seagal was big and the movie Marked for Death was out, which was Jamaicans. And I promise that's what I seen. And I said, hey, I smoked at a party. And they said, no, we give you like 0.15 for that. You're like at 0.25. So yeah, you weren't around it.
Right.
You were doing it. So I said, damn, well, I did it with the Jamaicans.
Right.
Because they wanted me, they was like, who else in the military is smoking? So I ain't never been no snitch.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, nah, I smoked it with the Jamaicans. Because I was like, go get them. Because I knew they wasn't going to. Yeah, so they put me out.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know.
And where'd you go?
I stayed in Ohio because I was like, I can't go home.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I stayed in Ohio.
Okay.
I wanted to be a rapper, and I had some connections in Ohio rapping. But it was like, I need to go to Atlanta because that's where it was like the new music scene.
Okay.
So that's why I just picked up and moved here.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so how'd you find your way to Uptown?
Well, this is great. First, I started working at Eric Sermon's studio. So as soon as I got here, I went straight to his studio the next day and got a job. Okay. And I got my first track from the dude who did the track Survivor for Destiny's Child.
Oh, wow.
His name Dent. Yeah, he gave me my first track.
Wow.
And so I was working there. Now, the Rim Shop, the niggas is from Detroit that own the Rim Shop. I don't know if you ever heard about the Rim Shop, Eric Sermon Rim Shop.
Yeah.
Man, they used to be like, niggas gonna come in there and kill them niggas, man. I'm talking about, I think Glenn Rice, he's a football player.
Basketball player.
Basketball, okay. He had ordered some rims for them. That nigga told me, yo, you better get out of there, man. Somebody gonna come in there and shoot them niggas. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, shit. That make it more exciting. Watch the door, damn it. Because everybody used to come up in there, man. It was I had all kind of connections, hookups. I'm just so thankful to God that I ain't never been raped or taken advantage of or just played, in a wrong way. God really been looking out for me.
Yeah.
Even during the rap, I met Suge Knight. He told me to come to the Hotel Nico the next day, right? That night, though, his bodyguard got killed. And I was like, I ain't going now. It's been a death. He probably went right back or whatever. When I was 16, I met Scott LaRock. I had won a contest, and he came to my house. My mother was like, don't be having them niggas in my house and all this and that. And I was like, fuck you. She came home. He was right in the house. Fuck that.
This Scott LaRock.
I'll take this whooping later. Right. You don't know nothing about what's going on. he goes back and he gets killed.
He gets killed.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I said, God been protecting me from something, you know, from something. Because why I get that close like that?
Yeah.
And then people get killed. I'm like, okay. So now I just let the work come to me.
Gotcha.
Yep, let the work come to me. So
wow.
I lived across the street though from Uptown.
Okay.
I lived in the Darlington, so I came across the street just to get a job as a hostess.
The famous Darlington.
The famous, oh God, I made it famous before Uptown. We made it famous together.
Right, okay.
I lived across the hall from the Uptown apartment. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that?
I didn't know you lived across the hall.
Across the hall, the 5th floor. As soon as you get out, their apartment was here. Mine was here.
Wow.
And so I was like the welcome wagon. Yeah, I was the welcome wagon. Like I had the weed. I took the comedians to eat, to the mall, you know, whatever. Like this is how God worked. Even that for me to be a comedian now and have so much respect from the vets is because I was the welcome wagon. Like I just really got to know these people.
Right.
And hey, it went down.
It went down.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And I love that because I think, I was on another show with Sean Larkins and he was just like, Sunshine, I ain't never heard you fuck nobody. And I said, hey, I love it. Because I was across the hall, damn it. And I was young. Shit. I'm talking about the day of the condom, too. I don't know about how people do with condoms today. Well, I'm older, too, so I don't know. But when I was younger, shit, long as I fucked you with a condom, we ain't fucked. Shit, it could have been a sausage, a hot dog, anything could be in a condom. It just happened to be attached to your motherfucking ass. But, you know what I mean? So, yeah, these were fun times. And I'm not saying I fucked a lot of comedians or nothing like that. I'm just saying it was really good times. I built some really good relationships.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Nobody knows nothing.
Nobody knows nothing.
Yeah, nobody knows nothing.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because, I mean, and you, like you said, you were at the original Uptown, so you've seen a lot of comedians and a lot of them who, you know, turned up to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, a lot of them, you know, they came through those doors.
Yeah.
So now let's get to what you were about to say earlier in terms of how being a hostess at Uptown developed into you doing comedy. Well, how'd that start?
We were snowed in. It was one weekend where we were snowed in, and I happened to be snowed in across the hall from Dominique and Red Grant. And so we spent that whole weekend together. I think it was Christmas because we battled the winter storm and went to get some food from a store that was open.
Okay.
And Dominique, she was driving with me. I used to drive so fast. She hate my driving. One day she said, Sunshine, this is stupid. How my driving stupid? I said, this ain't no field trip. We're trying to get somewhere. I hate motherfuckers getting in my car thinking, well, this ain't no, you know what I mean, Rolls Royce, motherfucker. This is a Cobalt. We is about to fly through the city. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, but she, I would say things and she was like, you so funny, Sunshine. You should go on stage. And I did because I couldn't get a deal. It was like, I said, okay, I'll just do comedy and then I'll get the deal. But I still, you know, I haven't got to that because then my son father shut me down shortly after.
Right.
Yeah, he shut that shit down. But you know what I was thinking?
What's that?
He set a trap, right?
Okay.
He trapped me. He got me pregnant and his plan was to shut, ain't no comedy, bitch.
Right.
And it wasn't, right? I'm not mad because I love my son. Like being a mother, it wasn't like, it was just like I loved him so much. The only person that could watch him would be his father. That's how I felt. Like without his father's support, then I couldn't do comedy. That was just it. So I didn't mind, like I said, because I love my son, but that was still fucked up that you really got me pregnant to not babysit a child so I couldn't go out. Like I never had heard of that.
Right.
You know, they kept saying women trap men. So when I got trapped, I was just like, damn, ain't nobody say this shit. You know, ain't nobody say this happens. Okay, so once he shut my shit down, nigga trapped me. But today, I'm getting child support. And he owed me at least 5 more years, right? If it just stays the pay, it'll be like 5 years that I will be getting $88 a week from this nigga. So who's trapped? You know? Look at the trap you set, and now you're trapped. And I love that.
So you love that.
I love that because I felt kind of bad because my son grown.
Right.
So it's like, I don't, the child support, I feel kind of bad. But I'm like, no, I don't. Because you trapped me. It's your own trap. So yeah, I love that $88 a week. Today I was like, I want to buy some hair, but I was like, I really don't feel like spending no money. I don't need it. And then the phone rung and it said child support. I said, well, see, look at God. Here it go.
There you go.
Here go the money right here. So I'm happy.
Yeah, how about that?
And so yeah, I think that's it. I lived across the street from the Darlington, got a job, start doing comedy, and it seemed like a little bit of a struggle because everybody know me. Like even you, not a struggle, but it's like there's certain people that I want to continue to make proud because you saw me from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got to make sure that I stay on point.
Yeah. Because
people know me from back then.
Got you. So your comedy, right? You kind of tell a story, you kind of put out points, you kind of, let everybody know you still look, you still the catch.
Hey, 51, still doing it. I work out though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time watching people not working out because they eat. You working out your motherfucking mouth, you know what I'm saying? Your arm and shit, bringing the motherfucking food up. Why don't you work out? I have a hard time with that. Because you can't, if you're gonna keep eating, you're gonna get bigger.
Sure.
And if you think you're gonna die tomorrow, then okay, eat whatever you want. But if you really think, if you plan on being alive in 5 years, let's say you plan on being alive in 5 years, then you really should be working out to at least maintain. You ain't gotta lose, but you gotta do something. So like I just hula hoop for 20 minutes a day. Just recently I started, there's this hill where I live. So I just walk up the hill, walk down, walk up, walk down. That's it, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I do that twice, the next day off. Do it 2 more, the next day off. So I feel like you got to find shit to do because I love to eat.
Right.
I was just telling them about Racetrack. Got the best fucking kettle cooked chips, jalapeno, 2 for $4 at Racetrack. I wish I could get an endorsement for these shits. I believe in this shit, man.
I believe in it.
They so good. And I love to eat laying in the bed.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that or to maintain, because I'm not bragging. I ain't like, these bitches can't fuck with me. No, it's just because I like to see us all do this. Because I really do, I don't have no competition. It'd be like bitches be trying to beef, but you can't. So at least give me competition. At least work out, do something so I'll have competition instead of bitches beefing with me. Can't nobody fuck with. I don't want to be the only one. These are my woes. And you see, so I don't have none.
I got you.
I ain't got no problems. That's my problem. Wanting other bitches to be cute so at least I can have competition when you're talking shit.
I love Sunshine.
Thank you. I like to be loved. It's so good.
So you've been around this game for a while. So you've seen the evolution of social media comedians versus the chicken circuit. They call it on the grind things. How do you like that transition? And I know you do some social media stuff, particularly with your bathing suits and whatnot, and tell us how that got started as well.
Well, the hula hoop started just because people always ask me, how do I lose weight or how I stay slim? So I said, I'm going to do a 90-day hula hoop challenge and just show people that really if you stick with it 4 times a week, 20 minutes a day, it can get done. So I started doing that. And I had a lot to talk about, but after 90 days, it was like I ran out of shit to talk about. And then I was like, I don't feel like being here hula hooping, trying to talk about shit, because I ain't really that type to make up shit to talk about just for the internet or just doing goofy shit, trying to, like it's a rat race, And when I see people caught up in that rat race of, like, you can be creative, but after a while of trying to do it so much, it's either you need a break for your creativity or you've run out. And that's when you see all the goofy ass shit of people just trying to have content, and I only can speak on it because I did it.
Okay.
Like I had on a mask and a swimsuit once, dancing. Once I was in the tub naked. All I had on was a towel, naked. Just trying to come up with something.
Yeah.
So like I said, I only speak on it because I did it. So when I see others doing it, it's like I get turned off of that rat race and all of that. But as far as the internet comedians, I just did a show Tuesday, and there was an internet comedian, several followers and this and that, and he got up there and he was just horrible, didn't have nothing to say. It was like the worst of the worst. And that's when you feel like maybe real comedians and real comedy eventually will prevail. Like when I first got here, strippers was so popular. And I was like, I'm not no hater, but it was like, I can't wait for this to die down. Something just told me that even though, I had my little stripper time, but when I first got here, before I said, because I never could do it because they was getting naked.
Right.
And so that's when I became a little bit of feeling like, I can't wait till this is over. Like strippers they getting too much shine. It just seemed like a thing. And so it finally became where it's not like it was.
Okay.
And that's even before COVID. Like strippers, the strip club scene really kind of died down a little bit. They still getting it, but it ain't like it was.
No.
So maybe
the streets changed that though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Street money changed.
Yeah.
BMF and all that stuff. But all that stuff dried up. The streets kind of changed the game.
So even just still though, like I said, it did die down. So I felt like maybe the internet comedy, maybe that will, like I said, maybe real comedians, people who write, people who put together a show, maybe that'll prevail. However, if people like the persona that you have on the internet, the character that you build, and then you can go to a club and people want to see that character, and that's what you're gonna do, then hey, I respect it.
Yeah,
I respect it, because there's a girl named my cousin Tiara. Did she come here?
No, not yet.
Well, she acts like a mother. She you seen her before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And so hopefully, you know what I'm saying, anybody, like, that's creative, and I'm sure maybe she has to even write down or think about the different things a mother would say and things like that. So I'm not gonna hate on internet comedians, like, nah, just if you can make it work, make it work.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm not trying to do nothing real goofy or nothing to build a following on the internet. I'll just let God lead me. I ask him direct my path, and we gonna see. I'm at this table right now. You know what I'm saying? Without having to always ask for things, you know? I like for God to tell me. So you just said you wanted, because Doodoo is in here doing it, and I'll give him that. He's the legend, you know what I'm saying? And that's who doing it. Okay, and I'll leave it at that, because I know DC Curry did it and some others. So I'm not like, oh, can I do it? Because when it's my time to do something, I will. And then you said, well, Sunshine, you want to sit down for a minute? I'm like, hell yeah. What do I got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm not gonna ask, because I'm gonna just let things come to me when they should. So thank you for having me here. I just love you too.
Well, we got different history. You know what I mean? Like I said, it goes back so deep.
You know yeah. VT,
that's right.
My man. Yeah, VT. I love VT. He is. When I worked with him, man, and he's always a hustler. He got something going. I'm telling you, he ain't doing 100%. A pyramid or this or that or this or that.
He got something going on.
Yeah, man, and I love that though, because he believe in it. I never could be a salesperson. He is the best salesperson ever.
I agree.
So yeah, it's nice that I even love your daddy like that. You know what I'm saying? And your Uncle Harold.
Yeah.
Harold done stayed wherever. I don't give a fuck if that motherfucker staying outside. I'm bringing a rug, a pillow. I'm fixing it up. He was up in your thing. You probably came up there like, where the hell all this shit came from? Because I set the office up once.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, so but you're known to do that. You'll just come in, Sunshine just coming out the blue with a gift. Say, I was just thinking about you, and I saw this and thought, even like this. That's how you are. That's your spirit. So that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. I like to give.
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell. So all the things you've done thus far, what is it that you still want to do that you haven't accomplished yet?
I want to get more into a mindset of being able to make my dreams come to fruition.
Okay.
Because I have like lots of ideas of things I can do, but then I don't have the push. I always feel like I'm the talent. I never feel like I'm the business person. So I hope that eventually I can get to a point that I can feel like I can do the business.
Is this in the comedy realm, or is this other outside of comedy? In the comedy realm?
Yeah, because I like how me and Dudu are as far as our show. Mm-hmm. I'm like, we could do couples retreats. You know, we could do seminars at hotels. We can do the Sunday service as well. So it's like, as far as me and him as a group, I see things we could do. And then me just myself, it's like, how can I be the person behind it to get it done?
Okay.
So that's it, really. Other than that, just whatever God wants for me, that's what I want. Because I've been saying that prayer for a while, and I just been going amazing places.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I wasn't saying that prayer before. I was doing everything on my own.
Okay.
You know, I was saying thank God, but I never was asking for His help. So it's just a difference now when I really ask for it and believe it and try to look out for signs that He's helping me. It's like, wow, I got more money in the bank right now than I ever had in my life. From saving and I don't even really know where it came from. But I just stepped out on faith and said, I'm going to stop working. I'm going to become a bartender and just do shows. And I'm telling you, I got more money than I ever had working a 9 to 5.
Gotcha.
40 hours a week for the man.
Wow.
I was conditioned and thought that's what I needed.
Right.
Once I started bartending and was like, damn, because I'm a comedian as I bartend, I'm just doing comedy behind the bar. Yeah. And they are paying me. Yeah. Like when they give me $50, $20 tips, one lady give me $20 every week. It's like she got it in her budget. Now another bitch got $1 in her budget for me too, which I'm too old for this. Every week she get a water and the water $1 and she give me $1. Why don't you just give me a $5 one day? Right. You got your $2 set aside for me. That's that old way of thinking. You know what I mean? I'll take it, but damn, roll up. Hey, that's why I don't even pay attention to that $1 though, because somebody gave me 20.
Yeah.
You know, so but once I said I'm making money on my own. I can do shows and I can do this bartending. And now, like I said, I got more money than I ever had my whole life. Mm-hmm. Only time I had over 5 G's was when I get tax money from my son. So once he left, back to broke. And when I would get that money, I would do something with it, but it would be gone that month. You know, pay your bills, buy things, go on a trip or whatever. So that tax money really that wasn't really no money. Right. Like right now, I got the money and I ain't got shit to do. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So and the child support coming every week. You know what I mean? So I can just blow that and say that and get these tips and just money coming from everywhere. So I'm so thankful. That's good stuff. So yeah, I would like to get more of a business mind to do things because I'm lazy and I be like, I want it to come to me. So maybe I'll step out sometime soon. Okay. Do you ever want to get in front of the camera, do acting and things of that nature? No, because I can't. I really don't. I know they said that like they'll give you your lines and stuff like that, but I'm really not good at memorizing lines. And acting is like weird to me. Okay. So the times I've been in front of the camera and they're like, okay, what they call it, action. It's like I just don't feel confident in that realm. Yeah. Gotcha. I'm confident like in talking, telling my story. So like talk show stuff and stuff like that maybe. Okay. But really I just like doing shows. If I could get on a tour, matter of fact, we'll do that. If I could get a tour, that would be awesome. Gotcha. But again, I would like the tour to be couples retreats, maybe on cruises where we talk to couples. I want it to be a couple thing because I believe in love and I think that we've been taught the wrong thing. Like women been taught the wrong thing, so we losing because we going after it wrong. You know, we going after it wrong. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you.
So, Sunshine, you know, you've been on
my classic conversation. So I like to wrap up with a top 5.
Okay.
So in lieu of your original career, give me your top 5 rappers of all time.
Top 5 rappers.
Yeah.
Okay. Rakim.
Rakim.
Yeah, definitely Rakim.
Okay.
A Heavy D. I gotta do Heavy D and the Boys.
Respect.
Yeah, I love Heavy D and the Boys. This is a tough one. Like, who else do I really fuck with? I guess I'm gonna say Drake. I'm gonna put Drake in my top 5 because I'm naming people who I like to sing along, like who have shit that. So could the Migos be one, or it's only got to be one rapper?
Nah, it can be the group.
So yeah, I got Rakim, Heavy D, Drake, the Migos. Because I'm thinking, if I was on an island and I could only listen to whoever, what would I want in my playlist? And the last rapper, this would be like the top 1. Damn. I'm going to say I don't want to be clout chasing shit. Because I could say Doodoo. He is a really good rapper. I think I will. I'll say Doodoo is my number 1.
Is that right?
Yeah. He is such a good rapper.
Yeah.
And I be telling him we need to do a listening party. Like, we need to expand. He got so many good songs. We could put on some tuxes, or I could put on a dress. The men wear tux. We do like an orchestra, like the symphony with his music. Because he got some good ass music. So I'll put him as one.
Okay. All right. There it is. Sunshine's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's
been my pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Continue to do great things, man. We're always proud of you, seeing you rocking the stage. Without a shadow of a doubt.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this has been another episode of Sit Down at Uptown with the girl, Comedian Sunshine.
Thank you so much.
Thank
it
you,
was
man.
my pleasure.
All right. Yeah.